Update. Am I the a-hole for serving my husband divorce papers when he wanted a divorce? Original post. I, 39 female, was pregnant and a stay-at-home mom to my toddler when my husband, 39 male, told me he didn't love me and wanted to split up because I was too hormonal. I was blindsided. Admittedly, I had been critical of his messiness, his challenges in keeping up with household duties, and our differing values. He prioritized work while I valued a more balanced lifestyle. He had committed to a vegan lifestyle while dating me, but later abandoned it, which I criticized. Despite the shock, I tried to fight for our relationship, apologized profusely, and we gave it another shot. The baby was born, and 3 months in, he told me he wanted a divorce after I woke him up at 10 a.m. to move his laundry. I was feeling resentful about his lack of help, but because he works late nights, he considered this the ultimate disrespect. He flipped out, swore at me, and said he wanted out. We both wanted to settle outside of court, so we looked for mediators. I found 2, but it went nowhere because we were so far apart. He demanded 50% custody, immediate overnights for the kids, and to pay no child support, even though he was the breadwinner. He claimed that because my parents have money, they should cover us. He even argued that we weren't married, claiming it wasn't a divorce because we hadn't filed the marriage license on time, even though we had both a religious and civil ceremony. When mediation went nowhere, I got a lawyer without his knowledge and planned to serve him divorce papers. Before I served him, he moved out but still expected to use the house. One time, he came back to see the kids, but he was being loud and disruptive while working, so I asked him to leave. This led to a major altercation where he swore at me in front of the kids, and my parents threatened to call the cops. After this incident, he canceled the credit card I used to pay for the kids without warning. Then he was served the papers. Immediately, he demanded my car title, which had his name on it, and the kids' passports. And he canceled my phone service, which he had been paying for. Since I didn't have a working phone, and my lawyer considered him a flight risk, and because he wasn't communicating efficiently through the lawyers to set up a schedule, he didn't see the kids for 2 weeks. We had our day in court, but the final determination has been delayed because he insists we aren't married. Since being served, he has been furious and accuses me of being pure evil. But the divorce was his idea. I wanted to work things out. He believes that taking him to court for custody and child support is the most vile thing and reflects poorly on my character. He has bad-mouthed me to family and friends and claims I've been controlling with the kids' schedule. He sees them 3 days a week, but I'm not comfortable with sleepovers at his house yet. He is also angry about the 2 weeks he didn't see the kids, even though he still hasn't paid a dime of their expenses, and now has more potential quality time with them than he ever did before. So tell me, am I the a-hole for serving my husband divorce papers and asking for child support for my young sons, instead of just letting him leave and giving him 50% custody? Now for the top comments before reading the update. The old 50% custody so shouldn't have to pay child support ploy. With a newborn? Huh, you're doing all the things. Keep listening to your lawyer, not the a-hole. Listen to your lawyer, listen to your lawyer, listen to your lawyer. Also, document every visit for your notes, so you don't forget his unhinged behavior. Who, what, where, when, how. Bust out that cell phone to record his diatribes. Great advice. Documenting everything will help protect you in court. You're prioritizing the kids' well-being, and that's what matters most. Not the a-hole. My ex did something similar. The baby was just a few months old, and he said he didn't like being a parent. He had begged me to try to get pregnant and wanted a divorce. He moved out. I later found out he had been cheating before he left, though he denied it. So I served him with divorce papers, and you would have thought I'd carved his heart out of his chest while he was awake. Boo-hoo. So sad and weepy. But he didn't want visitation with his own child, so his crocodile tears meant nothing to me. My life has so much better with him gone. I hope you have a wonderful life without this scumbag. I hope your attorney gets you what you deserve. Document every single nasty thing he says and does. I wouldn't trust him alone with a baby, so ask for supervised visitation. You are obviously not the a-hole, and I'd love to hear what the judge's opinion of him was when he or she found out that he had basically cut off all support for his kids. Under no circumstances should you give him the kids' passports. Don't even keep them at home. Set up a flag so you'll be notified if someone tries to get replacements for them, or if he ever gets hold of them and tries to leave the country with your kids. Fight the 50-50 while your kids are babies. He works nights and sleeps half day. What's he going to do? Leave them home alone all night? Between the night shifts and being basically unhinged, you should get full custody. Your lawyer needs to aim for maximum child support and, depending on where you live, alimony if possible. This is a situation of his own making, and now he can go check out that greener grass he wanted. Freeze the kids' credit too. And change the locks. Now for the update. He's really escalated things and made it so ugly now. A couple of weeks ago, he forced his way into my house uninvited, wouldn't let our child go, and stole a toy from the floor. I gently nudged him out and told him he needed to leave, to which he slapped and grabbed my wrist, shouting, "Don't freaking touch me!" He then filed a frivolous and fake DV restraining order against me. The next time he had kids, he never brought them home. It was the first time my babies had ever spent a night away from me. It's been heart-shattering. We go to court next Tuesday. Fingers crossed. Install cameras both inside and out, just in case he tries to do something like this again. I also hope you change the locks so he can't try to come in whenever he wants. If he doesn't bring the kids home, that is considered kidnapping in most places. You really should have called the police the second he forced his way into your home. Kidnapping if there is a custody and visitation order being violated. If one is not in place yet, either parent has the legal right to have the children with them. OP, since there's a restraining order on you, you can't even go get the kids. Otherwise, you go to jail. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend's parents off and thinking about breaking up because he never stands up for me? I, 27 female, have been with my boyfriend, 29 male, for almost 2 years now. For the most part, things are good between us when it's just the two of us. But whenever we visit his parents, everything falls apart. His mom and dad, let's call them Mary and John, are a lot. They criticize everything about me. My clothes? Not classy enough. My job? Oh, that's not really stable, is it? Even the way I talk gets picked apart sometimes. I try to brush it off, but it feels like death by 1,000 cuts. And it's just not the comments. Whenever we're at their house, they treat me like their personal servant. Mary will say something like, "Oh, could you clear the table, dear?" I didn't mind the first time, but then it's, "Can you wash those dishes?" And "Why don't you serve the dessert?" Meanwhile, my boyfriend is just sitting there, scrolling on his phone or chatting with his dad. It's like they expected me to play maid while they all relax. The last time we visited, things hit the breaking point. We were having dinner, and Mary made another one of her lovely comments about how I should learn how to cook properly if I want to keep my boyfriend happy. I just snapped. I told her, "Actually, Mary, I don't need any lessons, but maybe you could learn some respect." Dead silence, like you could hear a pin drop. Then John chimes in, calling me rude and ungrateful. He actually said, "We've been nothing but kind to you, and this is how you treat us? Kind? I'm sorry. Expecting me to be your housemaid and constantly putting me down is kind?" After dinner, my boyfriend didn't say a word to them. I thought maybe he was finally upset on my behalf, but nope. The second we got in the car, he went off on me. He said I embarrassed him and overreacted, that I should have just let it go because that's how they are. I told him I'm sick of feeling like I'm on my own when it comes to his parents. I asked him, "Why don't you ever stand up for me?" And he just shrugged and said, "It's not a big deal." Not a big deal? I've spent 2 years feeling disrespected and unsupported, and he's calling me dramatic for finally speaking up. I told him if he's not willing to back me up, maybe we need to rethink our relationship. He said I was being ridiculous and ended the conversation. Now I'm here, questioning everything. Was I wrong for snapping? Should I have handled it differently? Am I overreacting by thinking about breaking up with him? I feel stuck. Am I the a-hole? I'm sorry, he doesn't like you enough to stand up for you. His family sucks. Free yourself. I think you are right. If he can't have my back, then there is no future for us. Nope. Stay with him and this will continue. Except after you marry him, it'll be harder to get out. Then they'll nitpick your wedding or outright hijack it. Mother-in-law will show up in white. Then you'll have kids. And every single thing you do as a parent will be wrong. They'll go against your rules and boundaries. And when you can't take it anymore, it won't matter because you'll have kids with a man-child and his mom-wife. That stuff doesn't change even after the kids are grown. Run. Run screaming. Now is the easiest time to do it, and every minute you put it off, it'll just get harder. Not the a-hole. Find someone who respects you and will stand up for you. Your current boyfriend deserves the title of ex. He saw the best way in getting that title. Just do it. You don't need a big explanation. Just say, dude, you're my boyfriend. That's how you defend me, but not defending me. In future situations, I'm going to have to deal with everything myself because you can't be bothered. Grow up. Find someone else to play house with because that's not me. I can't believe I ever saw anything in you. Then free yourself for much, much better men. Not the a-hole. You did the right thing standing up for yourself. You should also consider leaving your boyfriend. If he doesn't have your back, then there's no future for you with him. Thank you. Unfortunately, you might be right with this. If he can't have my back, then there's no future for us. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my ex's mom why we broke up? I, 27 female, broke up with my boyfriend, 33 male, a few days before Christmas. His mom reached out to me right after Christmas, saying she missed me, hoped I was feeling better, and that she'd see me soon. I was supposed to go to his parents for Christmas, but obviously I didn't since I broke up with him. That's when I realized he must not have told them we broke up and had lied, saying the reason I wasn't there was because I was sick. I reached out to him and told him. He said he hadn't told his parents yet and that it wasn't their business. Fast forward to a few days before New Year's Eve, she texted me asking if I was coming to their family party. I told her no and mentioned that we'd broken up. When she asked why, I told her to ask her son. He texted me, flipping out, saying he'd already told me it wasn't their business, and to leave his family alone. I explained that she was the one who reached out to me, and that the only reason I told her was because I didn't want her to keep texting me. I also told him I didn't explain why we broke up, and directed her to ask him. Last weekend, I heard through a mutual friend that he was going around telling people he broke up with me because I'm crazy. I was upset that he had a nerve to badmouth me and lie, trying to make me look like the bad guy, when I had been keeping quiet about what really happened. In reality, he got blackout drunk and got physical. So, I told a mutual friend a true story, including photos of my injuries. I then forwarded the same photos and story to his mom. I said, just so you know the true reason we broke up, I heard he's spinning the story against me. Your son is abusive and has hurt me on numerous occasions. I wish you the best, but I wanted to clear up whatever he may have told you. She was super apologetic and took my side. Then my ex blew up my phone, flipping out and saying what happened between us was no one else's business. I had no plans to share this with our friends or his family, but when I heard he was calling me crazy, I felt it was only fair to tell the truth about what actually happened. Did I cross the line though? I feel like maybe I was an a-hole for telling his mom instead of just telling the mutual friend. Honey, the next time a boyfriend gets physical with you, file a police report. As you have unfortunately experienced, it is very common for abusers to victim blame and claim she's crazy. You don't owe him your silence. He hit you. He lost his precious anonymity as soon as he got physical with you. And tell absolutely everyone you know the reason you broke up, but be careful, because he will try to get you back however he can. Stay safe, little sister. Thank you. I didn't want to cause any unnecessary drama. I wasn't even going to tell anyone, but did take photos just in case it came up later / he wanted to lie. He loves to gaslight and call me crazy. You have photos. Nice. Girl, file that police report now. This isn't about unnecessary drama. This is about protecting yourself from when he claims you're defaming him to his friends and family by making accusations. I was in an abusive relationship. I told his mother and our mutual friends. I was sued for defamation because if I was a victim of abuse, then why didn't I file a police report? They always blame the victim. Get hard evidence on your side like a police report. Can I still file a report 3 weeks later with no visible injuries anymore? I have photos, but I feel like if I were to have filed a report, I should have done it right after our fights. I never did in the past, nor did I take photos in the past. Last story. Am I the a-hole for wanting a divorce my husband doesn't want and risking no relationship with his child? My husband, 33 male, and I, 30 female, have been married for 11 years. He is in the military, and we have lived all over the place. During this time, I have taken on most, if not all, of the household chores. Grocery shopping, cleaning, cooking, laundry. When needed, he has mowed the lawn or hung stuff up on walls. For most of our marriage, I've also had a job. In the past, I asked for help around the house, but it wasn't even considered. He even threatened to eat off of paper plates or eat fast food so that I wouldn't have to worry about his dishes. Fast forward to now, we have a 13-month-old baby. I've been staying home since the baby's birth, and I'm still responsible for cooking, cleaning, laundry, groceries, pets. Everything is on me. I decided to revisit the topic of dividing chores because I'm feeling so burnt out. I breastfeed all night, handle bath time, feed a baby at mealtime, clean up after meals, and do the dishes. He thinks going to work is enough and accuses me of not being grateful for him working just because I'm asking for help around the house. I told him, why are we married then? I can just get a job and do it all myself. I'd find a way. He reluctantly agreed to help after I mentioned that this was it for me. The following week, every time he fed the baby, changed the baby, or put food away after dinner, he would make snide comments like, I hope this is enough, or am I doing enough? One day, we got home after grocery shopping. I got the baby out of the car seat and went to the other side to grab a few bags. He said, no, I got it. I said, please, let me get some. He said, no. As we were walking inside, he said, I hope breaking my back is enough for you. I feel like I can't win. I told him it feels like he's punishing me for asking for help. I mentioned divorce and he said if we divorce, he won't be involved in our child's life. He said, and I quote, it's all or nothing. He claims he doesn't want a divorce. We currently live overseas, and divorcing would mean me moving back to the States near family with our baby, while he stays at his duty station. Am I the a-hole for considering divorcing my husband, knowing that he would choose not to know his own child? How can I do this to our baby? But how can I live like this? Am I asking for too much? He already seems like he has no relationship with his child, so what would be the difference? If you move back closer to family, would you have help? Either way, not the a-hole. Your husband sucks. Yes, I would have a very large support system. As a military person, I'm active duty. I'm going to let you know that him breaking his back and making snide remarks is ground for divorce. God forbid he is in the Air Force, because that guy should have plenty of energy for home life. So many military men think they are God's gift to their families because they sacrifice. Of course his job matters, but even then, he should want to love and respect your needs. I'm so over this scenario.